There are 4 handouts for today. We have all the ones regarding the Collab Center. So it's the regular full Collab Center handout. I've got one just for buyers, one just for sellers, and then one's how to edit your client's search, because things do change. So instead of deleting the old and creating a new, you can just edit the search. Just depends on how you want to do it. So those are in there. Also, to find all of our cheat sheets, where are they? They're in Paragon at the very top. Just tap on the MLS documents. And from there, you'll see I have access to all of the folders. Now, there was a plain old education at the very top. Skip that one. Go to my real source education, MIRS. There's 100 documents in here. So just go in, type Collab in the search. And these are all the different ones we have for the Collaboration Center. There's even the one there's about me in there, changing the search. And Paragon Connect, creating the Collab Center notifications, which Paragon Connect is the mobile solution that Paragon has come up with. Now, we still feel that there are some missing pieces, but there's some really great pieces in there. You know how HomeSnap has their listing edit broken right now? Go to Paragon Connect, and when you try to log into Paragon on your phone, it'll ask you, do you want to go to Paragon Connect, or go to the full-blown Paragon proper? Little quick peek, little extra, I'll show you what it looks like. So if I tap into my resources and I go right to Paragon Connect, it's going to log me in. And eventually, I think by the end of the year, they're supposed to have an app in the App Store for this, because most people find that very odd that you're trying to look for this in the App Store. And let me shrink this down to what it would look like on your mobile device. This is plain and simply what it would look like. You have at first it wants you to, it's for you designed to look at your buyers. What's going on with your buyers? Here they are, there's Miss Lisa. And then as you scroll down, the same power search that's in Paragon, listings near me, it's a lot more improved. A residential search, edit your listings right there, saved searches in your listing cards. And then of course there is my inventory right here. So it's a great snapshot of what's going on. And then to create a search, you can either scroll down to here, residential search, or there's always the 3 bars at the top left, gets you to the same. Lots of information here. So, but today is a Collab Center class. I'll be teaching Paragon Connect when? Next week? Next Friday the 4th. So if you guys would like to join in on that, the advertising will be going out tomorrow. So now you know how to find your help, those MLS documents. Don't forget also places to find help. On the home page, we have class schedule, and here's the webinar library. Now, if your brokerage's information appears in here, you have that private label MLS, your own Paragon for brokers. Just tap the MLS button at the top. Let me make my cursor a little bit bigger here. Actually, let's try a lot bigger. My kids thinks I'm that old that I really need a giant cursor. I'm like, no, really, it's really for teaching, because that way everybody can see where my cursor is. I hate when people say, oh, it's over here, over here. I'm like, I don't know where your here is. Where are you at? Even when I know the product I start, where's your here? So anyway, your webinar library is here. That's our YouTube library. We also have YouTube here. Even in resources, we have recorded webinars. So we try to hide it everywhere for you, just an Easter egg of where all those classes are. So today we've got the Collab Center. Now there are 2 separate doors you can enter into. Just like you come into my house, you can go to the front door, get the back door, get a garage door, right? Plenty of ways you can get into the house. There's plenty of ways you can get into the Collab Center too. You can go by searching, or you can go by the contacts. So at first, I'm going to do one from the search icon, and then I am going to do one from the contacts icon, because that's where I'm going to set up agent preview. So agent preview allows me to look at the listings before they go on to my client. So I actually have to approve ones to go on. I can decline ones or just leave them there, it doesn't matter. But we'll get checking into that in a minute. So I do have a poll to ask. Let's go ahead and throw out this poll for you guys. Just want to see how long you have been using Paragon. Wow. Okay, that's split right down the middle. For a little while, for a long while, and I'm new. Okay, so we got the newbie in there too. All right, that's good. So let's go ahead and close that. Do we want to do this? Have you, okay, let's just see, have you started using the Collab Center? Just to really see. It's probably going to be split about the same way, I'm assuming. We do have a no or two in there. That's good. All right, always good to know. Now remember, I will record this and put this on our YouTube channel. I still have, I think, 2 more. Yesterday's CMA video and the market stats video from last week. I still have those to put up. But the Paragon quick tips from Colleen's class, was it yesterday? Day before. Hers went out this morning at 9 a.m. So that is out there on YouTube. The greatest tips, Paragon time saving tips and tricks with Colleen. She teaches you so many great shortcuts. If you want to go a lot more in depth into searching and finding things, that is a great class to take. Oh, I see Jameson has made an appearance. Don't you love working from home? I just hope that they don't bark. It's usually a snoring of one of the dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera just so you guys can see more of the screen there. So I'm going to take up all your time. So as promised, let's go into the searching. So what the Collaboration Center is, it's setting up automatic emails for your clients. And I'm going to go in, I'll keep it simple. I'm just going to do a residential search. Remember, you need to pick the class that you're searching in. And if you're not sure which class it falls into, or if you need more than one class, you can use the multi-class search, just as an idea. But I'm going to keep it simple, go into my residential. Now, mind you, I know my way through Paragon. I can type in tab. I can say residential, tab, A for active, tab. But this isn't about how fast I can use it. So what's in the types? Oh, okay, condo, farm, single family. Maybe she does want a condo too. I am in St. Clair, so condos are kind of good. Statuses. Now, we always should talk about statuses. So I've selected active, which means all of the active statuses. Active you get. Back on market means that it was pending for a little bit. Now it's back on market. It will be in that status for a few days. Keep showing a contingency applies. There is only one contingency in my rule sources, rules and regs, is that the buyer is contingent upon selling their home. So it's pending, but, and another pending but is ABO, accepting backup offers. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys are the people actually coming to class and wanting to learn. If your property is accepting backup offers, mark it as ABO. How many agents do I hear from that get so upset that, you know, they're scheduling on it and, oh, you know, it's really, you know, pending, but blah, blah, blah. Come on, just say what it is. And then, of course, coming soon. In my rule sources rules, you have 7 days to use that coming soon. Nobody can see that property at that time. The listing agent can't even show it during that time. You can write an offer though, sight unseen, go for it. You can do that. But we have 7 days maximum that they can use the coming soon. And when you schedule a showing on those, it's blocked off until the activation date, just so you know. All right, so we're going to save. Searching by map. Here's one of my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and click into the map because here's my client's dilemma. All right, so she got a new job in, we'll say Chesterfield Township. Oh, let's go New Baltimore. I was just down there the other day. New Baltimore MI, and hit return. And so we'll say that this is her new job, and she wants to be, close enough to the new office. Okay, so how do you do that? So you've given her the exact address, or she's given you the exact address of her office, and she wants to be very close. Okay, and you will also see in the drop-down menu all of the other addresses that you've been using. And you also have, I put in my physical address here. It's home. Those of you who want to stalk me, I know you can find me anywhere in the tax records. And here, our board address, air quotes, is actually the MLS. We are a small business model, being a broker-owned MLS. So I could have put in her exact address, just like it would do for a CMA. And on this one, she wants to be within 5 miles. So I'll just tap the 5 and then apply that search radius. I do want to zoom out a little bit. Nice. So we've got quite a nice picking here. Very good area. All the way up to Fairhaven. Very nice. So now I do need to finish putting in my criteria. And these are clusters. There's 25 listings under here, 47 under here, you get it. And if I do tap into one of these 5, all the 5 will appear over here. I could just get a quick little view of these. And the same with these 8 over here. It's just the little quick ones right over here on the left. And take a peek at those. So I'm going to go back to my criteria. You see how you can run through your individual spots here. So I'm going to go back to my criteria. Now, let's see, we'll say that she's got a $500,000 limit. Now, if I don't put a low end, I might want to remove the rentals and say only for sale. It did knock out a few. County, I don't need to add the county unless she wants to specifically stay in Macomb County. Then in that case, I can certainly add in Macomb. So I just start typing. Now I had 85, you'll see, and did knock out a few. So if she was specific, hey, I want to be within 5 miles of the office, but I still need to stay in Macomb County. Okay. So I say scroll down, and you'll also see on the right-hand side that you have your criteria is already building. Address, municipality, structure, style. So if they wanted to make sure that she only wants a ranch, or if anything is fine, that's perfectly fine. But one of the things that we are finding, people aren't remembering or just don't know, period. Like here's a condo or a ranch on the first floor, but I was looking at a condo recently and it was listed as a 2-story. I'm like, but everything was on the second floor. Oh, so that was actually, it wasn't a 2-story unit. It was a ranch style unit on the second floor or above. So the unit itself, and I just let them know, like, hey, here's exactly what you need to be putting in there. Just reach out. Sometimes they just don't understand it. Because you look at it, it looks like a 2-story, but it's not. The building is a 2-story. All right, so she wants at least 3 bedrooms. Oh, we've lost another 20. And remember, your bathrooms total is the total number of baths and half baths in the home. So Debbie, does the half bath and the detached garage count? I don't know. I'd throw it in, and then somebody would bust me. I don't know. There was a big to-do about bathrooms for a bit. I think one of the other MLSs was displaying all the bathrooms in the house, even the lower level bathrooms, as the number of bathrooms in the house and or bedrooms kind of thing. So it's like, can't do that. So if I were to put 2, that means it's at least 1.5 baths. Basement, well, if I'm looking for condos, maybe not. I can't do that. I would love to say, yes, I must have a fireplace, but sometimes they just miss that on the data entry. So I'm going to have to skip it. Now, don't forget about your feature codes. Must have, must not have, or hey, as long as I get one of these, so you could throw 5 items out here. And as long as one hits the list, that'll be fine. So must not have. Bad neighbors. No, still doesn't work. So let's go over to the magnifying glass, see what we have here. You'll see that all the containers are closed. So you'll see that it's everything in here. Water features, green features, accessibility features. We have, what are the roads like? We've added some new ones with bringing on the Upper Peninsula roads. A helicopter pad is under roads. Okay. Seasonal, year-round. Interesting. So bringing on the Upper Peninsula Association, we did actually put a lot of more information in here. Appliances, basement, see, financing was, I thought financing was a little further to the bottom. Okay, I'm blind. Financial terms, wow. Okay, I just blew right by it, didn't I? Financial terms. So a lot of people ask, how do you find cash sales in here? I'm looking for something that's cash. Well, I'm going to cash offer. They're here in those feature codes as well. So just so you know. And when you select, must have a cash, you should stick with only one because it's rarely ever going to be this and that. So as long as you're doing, hey, as long as it's a cash or whatever. What else goes with cash? Come on, that's it. Cash or assumption, fine with me. As long as it ticks off on one of those, we're fine. But I'm not going to use those. So like my favorite is golf. With this golf, that golf, and this golf. Debbie, how come there's so many golfs in here? See, there's nothing. So this one is on the golf course. That's part of the association. Golf course view, I think that's the lot. How does the lot look? And then the golf course was F17. That is the property itself, I believe, without going back in and remembering which one was which. See, now that I put all those three in, I could either delete from there or just tap the X here, and they all are removed. Garage above ground square feet. So how many did we have over here? We're still left with 51. So I can still be a little bit more picky. Above ground, at least 1,500 square feet. Okay. Can we go up to 1,800? Yeah, that's okay. We'll leave it. She's got a nice 500,000 one. So now we just search. And typically this is a lot of listings. I might want to reduce it a little bit. But there are not that many listings on the market right now. And see, like this one here, the 65,000. It might be manufactured. I don't know. But I didn't put that minimum, so sometimes that would have taken out a few. That's it. So from here, what do I need to do? I save the search. So I save it. And one thing you notice that my spreadsheet view has been customized. I have changed this up. So if you want to change up this spreadsheet, it doesn't change all of them. I would go into customize in those fields. Because you'll notice the one that I have is activation date. So that's a great one. These are all the ones that I have in there right now. I have school district, bathrooms, bedrooms, structure style. So if I need to find anything, bedroom. Let's see if I'm on the bedroom 1 level. Maybe I wanted to make sure to see that there, so I would select this and add. I mean, it's very obscure, but hey, it works for the minute. And now that's been at the very end. It's always going to go to the bottom for you. If I don't want it there, I can either just click and drag it up, or if I've selected it, I can tell it to move it up. There you go, bedrooms in the bedroom 1 level. Now, the one thing that I do love about this is when you've screwed this up so bad, you can tap the revert to default and it go back to the way it was, which is nice. And save. Okay, so just a little side note there on how to customize, because you have so many things here on this blue bar that you can do. It's absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and save this. And I do want to save the search as, got to give it a name. So it's not for myself, but for my contact. So if I went through my contacts module, I would skip this one. So my search is Betty Buyer. I was name and date, that's how I roll. I don't believe I have Betty in here. I use good. I use her all the time. So all I need to do is add her as a new contact. So that's Betty Buyer. Of course, these are the only two requireds. However, you do have to have an email address. And save. New contact added successfully. That's one nice thing I do love. You're always going to see that big green bar when you've successfully added them. Now I'm going to save this and go to those notifications. So save and notify. Now in Paragon Connect, as of right now, you don't have the options to change how often the emails or when your client gets emails. It's coming. Like I said, there's still a few things in Paragon Connect that will be forthcoming. So now you see I'm in my contacts module, and it's put me right to where I need to be under my buyer activity. Here's the name of my search, and this it is here. So from here, I can edit that search a little later. And then we are going to go in and view her Collab Center in a few minutes as soon as I finish getting this set up. So under the options, well, you can see I could go with that straightforward email, but yeah, that's old school. So I'm going to go to options. And you'll see the default is usually 1 year. I've changed mine to 6 months. When is my client going to get an email? If a price changes on something existing, if there's a new match to her search, or if there's any comments by my client or myself. And me, I only do mine recurring. So my client is immediately. Me, I don't want to. You guys, it'll probably be different for you. But for class purposes, I want to show you how to do the recurring. So I can set this up at 9 a.m. I could set it up at 12 o'clock. I can do whatever I want. If my client wants to make sure that she gets this email at lunch every day, I am on it. So she wants it every day and every one day. I could just set it to be just every weekdays. And for me, that might work. Me, I want mine at 7 a.m. But if it were my client and they wanted it at lunch, so I would go 11:30 to make sure that she has it. So I could definitely do that. And that's really cool that I can change when my client gets it. In this case, that was for me. This is going to Betty. And if I wanted her husband on here, I could do it as well. As I'm setting it up, now this will be every single time. Any CCs, no BCs, because I have my agent notifications. Now the subject line, this is a little long. Activity, notification activity for your Collab Center site, New Baltimore. See, that way I just give her a little bit more. I wouldn't change it too much, as it does clear the CAN Spam Act. And all you need to now do is tap OK. And then you got one more thing to do. Even though you've set up the notifications, you just got to make sure one last time, are you good to go? Send that welcome message. It's going to go to Betty and Bobby. We did not add Bobby to the contact record. So we'll just add him on the fly here. Welcome to your Collaboration Center for Buyers. Note it is empty. So let's just preview it in the upper right-hand corner. So this is why you want to make sure to get their name spelled correctly. There are 50 matches found. Where do they come from? There's undecided, and there's also recommended listings, which we will do that is as well. And then they all know favorite, possible, reject. You can communicate. They can make their own custom folders. They can even compare listings. Kind of cool. They will need to create a password. The username is the primary person's on the email. They both have the same account. And of course, here's information about me. Now, one thing you notice, I have all sorts of social media right here. Now, if you only have one, that's fine. Only one will show if you've put it into your preferences wizard. So there is a separate wizard for the Collab Center, and we will get through that at the very end as well. Just want to make sure, so if for those who already have it set up, they could jump off if they need to. We always make sure to throw that in at the end, just in case. So you'll see this is going to go right to my Big Red Homes. This is actually a non-published page because I use it in class. Tomorrow I'm teaching, no, next week I'm teaching lead gen as well. So that'll be on the 3rd. And I post to this page because I post in class, and that would be awful. That would be absolutely awful. So they are links to your business pages right here. Alrighty, close that preview and send. You're always going to wait for that what? Big green email sent. Alrighty. So there's what they see. And close. All right, so what did we just create? Now you'll also see any comments here for this client. As we go down, here's agent recommended. I can add another search. We will do a seller activity one. And there is the message history, because they're going to ask you, hey, do you remember the listing you sent me yesterday? God, no, that's an automatic email. Come on. Well, of course, I can find that. Yeah, it's right here in the message history. So if you just tap on the one on the right-hand side, then it will be down below. So let's go back to that search and let's see what we've got for them. Let's view that Collab Center. See, here's my headshots loaded up here. Under the contact me information, this is somewhat preset. When you do your wizard, this information, here's all your company information and your information. And then I put visit my site is in here. I added my HomeSnap property. What is it called? Just my HomeSnap profile. Pretty sweet. So that's pretty awesome that HomeSnap does give you that. HomeSnap is changing over to homes.com. So that's why many things are breaking over there and they're not fixing. So just so you know that Paragon Connect is a viable source for you. So again, the sites, you do have an opportunity to put in the My Story here. And you know, this is me, so I put on the new agent onboarding, chapter 1. That's me. This is the default. If yours is gone, that's one of those things that's in the MLS documents. This is the About Me page. That's what it's called, About Me page. I've put in my links in here. And we'll go over how to make sure that you can get a name in here as opposed to just the link. Property tax estimator, very interesting stuff. For those of you who want to come up to St. Clair County, actually this weekend is the boat races, and Warwater Brewery is right in our lovely downtown area. Chris, one of the owners, went to school with my husband. Go figure, this is Smallville. I love it. So let's close this page. Now what they have is the buyer activity. Did you know your client can even upload a photo too? So here's, 57 updates dates. Oh, 7 open houses. Nice. I was about to say, how did we get to 57 already? That's why. So once they start going through here, like, oh yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. 3-car garage, perfect. Very nice. New construction, I don't know about that. Very nice. So once they go through and start marking these as favorites, possibles, rejects, there's accepting backup offers. So that's why I like it on the Collab Center, that they can see exactly what these are. So when they have a question, they can either A, figure it out, or of course B, call you. That one's kind of nice. So now you see lots of great listings. Wow. They can also, here's the thumbnail view, which we're on. They can go to a tile view. And if they really want to, they can go to a map view. You can really get a good view as to what's going on. So maybe once they look at this, like, oh, this might be a skosh too far. What's out here off of grass shed? I don't know. It's just another tool to use. That's it. One of the things your clients can do is under the more arrow here, let you see what it is. They can email this listing out to a friend or you or whoever. They can comment. They can request a showing that comes to you. So when you request the showing, and I'm going to say, no, other way. 1 p.m., please, and submit. So you will see the end result. Your request is not yet confirmed. Your agent has been sent your request. So it's really cool the things that they can do. It's a great tool for your clients. And when they want to go back and look at their favorites or the rejects, here they all are. Now, what's good about having your clients mark them as favorites, I will show you over in Paragon. So let's do that. And they do have more stuff here. They've got their recent sales they can see, so they can actually see what's going on around in the area. So this is a really cool piece. If your client wants to be a little bit more informed, this one sold on 7/12, sold for 361. This sold for 375. So they can actually, kind of get a clue as to what's going on. Yeah, and that's in the same area that they are searching on. Communications and these saved folders. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's close that down. Now let's go back to here. I'm going to go out of contacts and go back in again to refresh this. I'm going to view and manage my contacts. And now we'll see here's Betty Buyer. As you'll see, she's got the blue view button along with this client and this client. So now let's go over to the right. And this is what I love about this program. There's 44 that she hadn't decided on yet. She didn't click any button at all. My client said that she had 5 favorites. Yeah, there is 1 reject. All righty. So that's nice. Now, why do I want to recommend them putting them as their favorites? Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to tap on this 5. And now, it looks like Real Comp that has that neighborhood tied up. So what we're going to do is we're going to schedule all of these at the same time. So my client wants to view some homes. I said, well, let's go see the ones that you've marked as favorites. I'm like, I don't remember which ones they are. No problem. I've got you. So I'm going to take all of these 5. And when you see those 5, I'm going to go back 1 second. So I'm going to close this. When you see this number of 5, say 2 months have passed, the pending and sold ones will drop off of your list, not your client's list. They're still going to remain in their favorites. But you as the agent, it doesn't matter for you. You want to make sure to see only the active listings. So let's go into the 5 again. We'll select them all. And then off the actions button, what can you do with all of these? Pretty awesome. You can put them in a buyer tour as well, but we're gonna go and schedule them with showing time. And this is a great shortcut. I'm gonna add it to a showing cart because it knows I've got 5 selected there. We're gonna go out tomorrow, and this is gonna be for Betty Buyer, and tap OK. Now, I would also caution you on this, what we found, Showing Time, which is now owned by Zillow, Showing Time is now selling packages to brokers where they can see the name of the person you are adding here. And it's not to our members. We would not allow Showing Time to do that to our members, but they have been marketing to other members in the area. And these are all real listings. So I don't know if you want to put fake buyer, and then actually I'll go back to that part in a second. I will finish that thought in a minute for you. Let's continue along, scheduling up Betty Buyer. Oh, we got some, this one's blocked. Oh, was this the coming soon listing? Appointment required. Oh, go and show, appointment required. Okay. So what I can do, here's a really cool piece here. Let's do the smart route, because it's going to put it in the best spot for me. I'm always going to stick it in a smart route. So on this one, I can't. So I'm going to have to remove this one. There are showings that are not allowed on this date. Okay, and remove. Okay. So these guys, I would go in and I could either just pick something here, 11 to 11:15, notes. Oh, I do have to select. No. Type of showing, just showing. I thought we had to tell them that we were a buyer's agent as well. I wonder if they've removed that. So we now note that there is 8 minutes travel time between this. So we're going to go here, there. These are already close to each other. So I'm not getting anything. I'm not very smart about doing this. I don't have the education behind me on the actualities of how these go. So I'm just staggering them out, keeping it simple, and then I would send the requests. I would make these longer, whatever, because I would make sure to put a little bit more time. But this is for class. I want to show you some cool pieces about it. Now, once these have been scheduled, I can come in here and look at the same showing cart, and then I could either email or print. So I'll show you the email one. Oh, no, sorry. It's the print one. Print for now. So this is what it's going to look like. Always start at the top. Is it the agent's version or the buyer's version? Do I want to show all this? And then here's the tour. 4 stops, 6.5 miles. Nice. And these are not yet requested because, I'm not going to request those showings. I have a real estate license, but I don't really use it. So this is nice. You've got Maria Moore, Solutions Realty, all the information right here. And your turn-by-turn directions to each listing and an overview. Very nice. And then simply print the tour or email the tour as you most likely would have. So some very cool pieces in this. So let's close out showing time and go back to close this out. Close out this default spreadsheet view. Now, what I wanted to talk about a moment ago was some brokerages have bought the package that they can now see who Betty Buyer is. So do I want to actually put her real name here? I don't know. Maybe her fake name is Betty Buyer, and I could put her alias as her real name. I don't know. So there is an alias I could use right here. So I could reverse engineer it, because this is actually for reverse prospecting. So if Bubba had, if somebody was doing a reverse prospecting and I allowed it on my account, then and say Sally seller has a listing that meets Bubba's criteria, then Sally seller's agent would reach out to me and say, hey, your client Bubba, because the alias is allowed to be seen by other agents, Bubba has their requirements that match, their search requirements match my sellers. Well, you want to get together? It's not used a lot because it's an opt-in, not an opt-out, but it is an option if you want to hide your buyer's name over here, just so you know that. All right, so now let's go in and find a recommended listing for Betty Buyer. Now, usually what I've done is if let's go to the home, and I'm going to use my market monitor. I like to cheat on this one. So I'm just going to go to one of the new listings in the area, and we'll say this is my New Baltimore area. And I realize that, oh my goodness, this is the perfect listing for her. She has got to see this one. So even though it's right out of a price range, but it's in the right area. It's not, but we say it is. So I want to save this listing and put it on those automatic notifications for Betty Buyer, because I want her to get notified. Because even though it's out of her price range now, maybe it's going to come down a few dollars, and maybe by then they're willing to negotiate, and she might be able to make a deal. That's actually how I got this house. So we are going to save this listing, but here's the thing. It's going to go to a listing cart. The carts can be used for a few things, just ones that you save for yourself. I got a couple of cool homes that I've saved, but this is going to go to a contact. It's that one selected, and we just start typing in Betty. So there's Betty Buyer, save and notify. And then we're going to make sure agent recommended is options. She is on the Collab Center. What are immediately and immediately good. This was also to go to Bobby, right? Activity recommended. No, MMM. Recommended. Recommended listing. I like to do something a little different somewhere, everywhere around the way that I can. And I could even put a message body in that one too. So then here I could manage those listings, but you'll see here's the one, and I put it in today. So if I want, I can manage these. She's like, no, just please get that out of there. I don't want to see that ugly, crappy thing again. Then I can manage the listings here and take it out. So I can remove it, can even add some more this way if I want. But I find it easiest when I go find the listing and then put it into their listing cart. That's the way that I've found that it works best for me. Alrighty, so what we're going to do now is we are going to do the agent preview listings. Now that one has to be done from the contacts module. So if I were not in the contacts module, all I would want to do is to go to contacts and simply add a contact. Now, right off the get-go, do not miss this part. Collab Center, here's your key. This goes on agent preview. This needs to be done first, period. Okay, so this one's going to be, I'm going to set a Bobby Buyer. Bobby Buyer. I know I'm so slick with the names, aren't I? I think I already have Picky Penny in here. And this is Bobby at hit tab. Now it gives me this green check mark, and it says that it looks like a valid email. I do need to select that it's the primary. Then we'll go from there. Now here's where if I want to add in the spouse, here I certainly can. Oh, name. So name, be it Betty Buyer. This is Betty at Now I've hit the tab, so it says, yep, it looks like it's valid. I'm not going to change this one to primary because it's going to take this one off of primary, but I do want to make sure to add the spouse or the secondary to notifications. So boom, we're done. Now you do know in this context module, we do have some more information. You could add their home address here because you can make labels out of here. It's kind of nice. Or you can always export it into your own mail merge or whatever you want to do with that. Website information. Their telephones, if you want to text a listing to them as well. You can put in their types that they are. I've created my own groups that are in here. And here's that reverse prospecting. So I actually have to opt in to this. And then they would see this alias as Snowflake. So this is where if I allowed, and I did, reverse prospecting on my client, that now says any listing agent in Paragon, now that's going to be all of our vendor MLSs as well. They're all on the same platform. Everybody on our platform at Paragon would be able to use reverse prospecting. So it does not work with RealComp. That is a totally different system, and it does not work. So anybody using Paragon could run reverse prospecting on their listing. And if it was a match to my client, they would reach out to me saying, hey, your client Snowflake is a match to my listing. But it's not really a big thing right now because shortage of inventory. They're not having to search too hard for buyers. I could also put a source and comments here too. So there's some good information that you can store in here. And then we're going to save this guy. Success, we've added it. So I could just go next. It's going to put me right back on that same one there. Next on the right. And here we are. Are we going to add a new saved search or load an existing saved search? Let's go load an existing. Where's my lottery? Love my lottery search. And save. So again, we're going with the Collab Center. Now remember, this one has been set up as agent preview. Options. And I could, now here is one thing we didn't mention. Message body, we don't talk about it anymore, simply because it comes with that really great preview. I've previewed this property, previewed this listing. And I believe it fits your criteria. Let me know when you want to book, blah, blah, blah. And we'll tap OK. Again, my notification range triggers how often. And this one I'm doing immediately. I want to know as soon as a listing comes on the market that meets their criteria, it's got to come to me. And then it's going to go to Bobby and Betty, because you'll see I did select to notify the spouse. Here's my lottery search. And OK. So it's good to see this a couple of times so you really get the good swing of it. And send that welcome message. So let's go ahead and preview it because we did add that little comment in there, remember? And where's my comment? My comment is MIA. Did I not hit save? Oh, because that's the welcome email. Duh. Sorry, it goes in the regular emails. Ah, okay. And send. And this one has no listings in here. Why? Because nothing's been approved as of yet. Warning: listings must be approved to appear in Collab Center. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. And here is my needs approval. So I can simply tap into this 20 right here. And I would go in and say, okay, yeah, this one, ooh, on the water. Now we'll see some other Upper Peninsula, Real Comp, Upper Peninsula, Ann Arbor. You're gonna get a couple of them all around, all the way in the UP. You know, they won the lottery. They can move wherever they want. So I will say these guys, we're approving these, and you know, I would obviously do a little bit more work here, but I want you to see, there's my approve button. Always that blue bar at the top is a great tool. Let's go ahead and approve. It's gonna say, oh, are you sure? Approve. Now, if I were to say, let's see, where's the one in Troy? Oh, nope, no Troy. It was just on 16 Mile Road. Maybe they were like, no Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor Township, that's a big fat no. Not that I move anything. I'm hating on Ann Arbor at the minute. Apologies. So I would say disapprove this listing. And this is going to go, it's not going to display in their collaboration center. That's good. All right, let's close this spreadsheet view. And if I go, I'm going to close this out so it refreshes the scope. Here's Bobby Buyer. So now you'll see we've got a lot of activity here. There's the one disapproved. There are 4 that have gone, have been still undecided. They haven't looked at them yet. But there's the 20 matches. 15 I haven't touched yet. 1 I disapproved and 1 I approved. Now the thing is, when you've gone through and gotten through all the listings, like on this one here, maybe I have no more left. And now we got to dig into these 7. We certainly can. So let's dig into my 7. Like, okay, are there some listings that maybe will bubble up? I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take a peek at this one now. And okay, we'll do the new construction. We'll look at that one. So they're never gone. If you have to go back and change from disapproved to approved, they're always there. I'm going to go approve those, and they will now be seen in their Collab Center site. Although that was for a different client, you get the idea. So now 50 matches. You see the total matches over here. Anything that's new, any changed. There's 5 changed right here. Well, what changed? Let's see. It's like your own little hot sheet report. You can go in, check out the photos, see what's going on here. Ooh, there's some nice photos. Still a little low res. It doesn't cover up the entire black block here. Very nice photos though. Very cool. All right, the last piece I want to show you is the Collab Center for sellers. Now, I do have to have a listing for this, which I already threw out the disclaimer there that I do not have a listing. So what I did earlier, whose did I want to assume? So there was a nice listing in my area. And of course, I forgot to write down her name. Oh no, it was D Patsalis. That's why I didn't remember. That's why I didn't write down her name, because it was for D. She was actually the listing agent on this house. Sign Monahan Realtors right around the way, right here in lovely St. Clair. Assume her ID. Now, this is what your admins or your secretaries can do for you. They can assume your identity. Oh, look, and here's the photos with Taylor. It's coming out. Yay! So, I am now, say I'm D, and now I've entered my new listing in. And what do I need to do to get my seller set up on those notifications about her listing? So I'm going to go into my contacts. I'm going to add a contact. Debbie Fajardo. So I tabbed through. It gave me the green check. It looks like it's correct. I hit my space bar, say it's the primary. Save. Would you like to associate a property to this contact? Why, thank you. Yes, I would. And it's going to give me all of my listings. Ooh, the second one is now pending. I will take Snowbird Lane Circle. Snowbird Circle. And save. So here we are, very easy. I can view the detail of the listing. So here's what I need to do. Enable the sell side site. Just toggle that to enabled. Send that welcome email. D Fajardo, BCC to D. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. She doesn't need to know I'm playing in her account today. And send. And here we are. There's that. And where do comparables come from? Oh, active comparables, sold comparables, and there is D. And you'll see that she did not, oh, Grosse Pointe Farms? That's odd. That's the main office? She's here in St. Clair. And close. So we can send that update email, which is awesome. It's scheduled for immediate delivery. Cool. Now we can enable the email report. If that one is already gone, we should be able to do it. Disabled, enabled. So this is a summer report sent out in the morning. It recaps all activity related to your seller's listing. The weekly option will be sent on Thursdays. Interesting. So maybe we'll do daily. I'll turn off D's so we won't. D is going to be getting crazy emails. What? Debbie? Why? Debbie? Debbie's not my seller. She's not that property owner. There we go. And now, ta-da, you've set it up. So there's just the listing detail report. So now let's go back out of here and, oh, just bear it down, trim it down to mine. Yeah, okay. So there's me. There's my email. And there's my site button. And I will view. See, there's no matches. Doesn't really say that there's one listing. So let's go and view that so you guys get to see what that looks like. So now there's the seller activity and competition. So here's the contact me about on D. Oh, see, that's why we need that about me page there. It is gone. There's nothing here. Okay, great. So if she wanted to update it, she certainly can. Here's the listing. 179 listing views. As I scroll down, it'll give me the activity on the views, real estate agent views, prospective buyers. And then, of course, the showing time activity. 11 showings in the past 7 days. And I'm sure that's, well, it was in the market monitor, so it's only been on the market that many days. Oh, and 5 feedback received. Very nice. Well, there's been 2 favorites, 1 possible. 73 undecided. Okay, I get it. Wow. 70 real estate agent views and 109 prospective buyer views. And no agent has recommended this. You know, I should have recommended that one earlier. Social activity. Very nice. So there is a lot of information that you can give to your sellers. They get an email report once a day or once a week. In this hot market, I might do the once a day. And that's the way we've set it up. The competition. Six under here, 3 under there. So I'll zoom in a skosh. Oh, that's right. Snowbird. So here is just north of us. Snowbird Lane is right around here somewhere. So just a little further up on the golf course and 2 in here. Very cool. So they can see what's going on. I just look at the one listing. Cell phone photos. Nice. And you can do, there's property info, history, docs, valuations, mortgage, all that. Close that out. And it sold for $253. Last but not least, so we do want to go through the preferences wizard. If you guys, now if there aren't any questions, I'm not seeing any questions, don't forget to download this handouts. If you don't want to today, you know that they are going to be in the MLS documents under the MIRS education folder. Skip that first education folder, that's for all of the other MLSs that we vendor. We have all the products, all the bells and whistles. So naturally, I'd want to keep those in my own folder. They get a little jealous of all of our stuff, so I just don't put it there. And whatever Colleen wants to put in for her vendored MLSs, she certainly does. So for those of you who want to stick around, let's go ahead and get out a Dee's account. Or maybe, maybe I should delete myself here first. Delete. No search, just delete. I'll have to thank Dee a little later. I'm going to go back and assume identity back to my own and simply click here to return to your account. All right, so what are we going to do next? That's simply the preferences wizard for the Collab Center. Oh, and here's my MLS message that went out earlier today. Oh, that's right, Taylor's on today. It's Thursday. So I'm going to go under my preferences wizard or preferences icon at the very top. There's the regular preferences wizard and then the Collab Center preferences wizard. So let's go ahead and go into that. Simply hit the start button. Now, my licensed name is Deborah Rand Fajardo. So I simply changed it to Debbie. Rand is the middle name. It's not in the last name. That's the maiden name. Do I want my primary number to be displayed? Yes, I do. So this is my agent information. This is my cell phone. And I actually have a secondary number. If you want to add anything into here and then you don't know how to, it's simply because membership has to do that. So Monica in membership, she can take care of that for you. I can as well. I just let Monica know if I'm changing information in her system though. So I do have that direct line at the office, just comes to my cell phone. Display my email address, my web page, my video, because that was that little video that I put in there about the new agent onboarding. So this is the stuff that is going to show on my Collaboration Center page. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. How do I know which ones to do here? So if it's blank, all I need to do is go out and open up another browser. I'm going to go to Facebook. And from here, I go to my big red homes on the left. Oh, memories. Big red homes on the left. And all I need to do is tap up into the URL and right click, copy that. Now I need to go back to Paragon and right click into that box and paste. Ta-da! I would do the same thing for each of the other accounts. The story video, it has to be hosted on a site somewhere. So this is hosted on YouTube. I think you can host on Vimeo, and I couldn't tell you where the other places are. And there's my headshot that's in here. And next. The Collab Center About Me page. Remember when I went over to Dee's and I clicked in and said, About Me? This is what was missing on hers. There was a time that a few of them, as they were coming in, this was blank. A glitch in the system, I'm assuming. So I can go over to the MLS documents, download that Word doc, copy and paste whatever I want in here, or just start writing. But we have something that's pretty nice. It's all ready for you. So here are those property links. So I'll show you. what I did. So if I wanted to do, oh, what do I want to, I think Blue Water Chamber of Commerce. Port Huron, okay. So if this is my area and I wanted to put this in my information, there's the chamber events. So seriously, again, it's tap into the URL, right click, copy, go back to Paragon. Now I'm going to add a link in, web address, right click and paste. Now as I tab out of this field, there's no, it still says Blue Water Chamber. What is that? Link name, same as address. No, I want something different. Blue Water area. There you go. And save it. So now, Blue Water area hotspots, Blue Water area Chamber of Commerce. Oh, it's also at the very top too. So might as well delete the second one, huh? So here is my Blue Water Chamber of Commerce. There you go. So, and again, you saw how I just deleted that one. If I wanted, there's the Anchor Bay Chamber. Maybe if I'm not working in the Anchor Bay area anymore, that this is my other area, or who knows, want to delete, or I need to modify, delete, either way. Next. Now this is information for my office, because I see people like, well, I can't put my number in here. Where's my number? Office information. If I don't want to include the primary office telephone number, well, you know, I check with my broker. Was there a secondary one? I don't know. So do I want to display my office address and the office logo? Just remember that license law does mandate you put certain things in there. Check with your broker to make sure that you are complying. Hit next. Agent notifications. Oh, here we are back on that. So when do I, as the agent, want notifications? Or it's actually, what do I want to get notified on? Of course, I want those new listings. Of course, I want price changes. I don't care about status, photos, open houses, blah. I do want to be notified if my client favorites a listing and possibles a listing. Then, of course, comments. And if my client creates a new search, I want to know. Here's just what you can do. Now, my client notification options. What is going to trigger a notification to my client? Now, recently, I did have notify on status change. That's because things were going so quickly. I was like, look, pending, pending, pending. I wanted to let them know that these properties are going quickly. Kind of over that at the minute. And next. Those search options. For my clients, can they create searches for themselves? Of course, yes, I'm going to allow them. But I'm not going to allow them to search on every class. I believe this is probably how yours is going to be. Everything is selected by default. I'm not allowing them to search on manufactured home. And I don't work in commercial industrial. I don't want their map to be so full of junk that it's useless. Now, what am I allowing them to search on? When they're searching, what's going to come up in their map? Yes, I want all of the actives and the pendings. I don't want the solds there. I don't want expireds there. That's just going to mess up their criteria. It's just going to mess up their map. It's going to be too busy. So these are my preferences. And next. There are valuations in here, Easy Value, the RVM, which is a Realtor's Property Resource, and the Zestimate. And congratulations, there you have it. So this is one of my favorite subjects. I love the Collab Center. It's great. You get some searching in here. You get some tips and tricks about how to get a group of listings into showing time or doing a buyer's tour, which is really cool. But honestly, when I took my son out looking for homes, the first one I did a property tour of all the ones that we were going on. And my agent, Audra Jancic, she's like, "What are you trying to show me up, Debbie?" I'm like, "No, I just want to play with all the tools that I have at my real source." And I was searching for my son. So my son's like, "I don't need all that fancy stuff." He wanted the one sheet document, the showing time one. Okay, we're going to this place, we're going to this place, we're going to this place. You know what he wanted? Big garage, fenced in yard. That was the big thing, that the notes that he took. I'm like, okay, duly noted. So there's a lot of cool tools. Know your clients. Lots of great stuff in here. This video will be recorded. I've shown you where it's going to be. A little bit everywhere in the YouTube. If I could find, there it is, YouTube. YouTube. Webinar library. It will be there. And when I send out the education corner, usually in that first page or so, what's new, I will include my, or I think I took it out. Oh, no, there. Here are my latest videos that I did. Cuba Casa, the Roadshow event. Oh my God, that was so much fun. Lead generation with my Real Source tools, and the Collab Center for buyers and sellers. So I will always keep those links right here. What we have found out, let's see, public records with BSNA and Realist, that has been taken down from YouTube because it violates their no showing of addresses policy. You know, we're guessing that's what the address is. There is no exact violation. They just say it violates our policy. Go figure it out. Like, okay. So what we did to get around that, we are now hosting the public records with Realist and BSNA because the public shouldn't be learning how to search, even though they don't have access to those tools. Okay, it's me. I'll just use that one. Keep it simple and register. Just, I don't know why, it's just how it does. So here is your public records with Realist and BSNA. But that's the cool thing, is you can get to them from the education corner. Is what I have. The YouTube link is going to get you right to the playlist for everything Transaction Desk and Authentisign. All your information right there. So it's a great tool, the education corner. Usually comes out on the 1st of the month, so I think it'll be next Monday. So I guess I'm busy today and tomorrow creating that, so hopefully I'll get it out on Monday for you guys. All right, everybody, gotta go. Oh, good. Glad to hear it, Janie. She's gone already, but thank you, everybody, for attending today. It was wonderful to see you, and hopefully we will see you soon when construction is ended at my Real Source. We'll be able to have a few in-person classes, although we will not be giving up the live webinars, just so you know, because this is just an easy way to get everybody from the Upper Peninsula to the Lower Peninsula, reaching out to all of our memberships. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you soon.